What is Robert Mugabe's legacy? What does Robert Mugabe's legacy look like? His story is a mix of triumph and tragedy, deeply tied to his commitment to communist and socialist ideas. These beliefs shaped his role in Zimbabwe's fight against colonial rule and his governance after independence. Mugabe was influenced by Marxist-Leninist principles, which he learned during his education in East Germany and at the Kwame Nkrumah Ideological Institute. He believed that socialism was the key to freeing Zimbabwe from colonial control and building a new society. In the early days, Mugabe was a leader in the struggle against white minority rule in Rhodesia, now known as Zimbabwe. He spent a decade in prison for his political activities aligned with communist ideals. This time solidified his belief that socialism was essential for true liberation and equality. He led the Zimbabwe African National Union, positioning it as the primary force for change in the country. After Zimbabwe gained independence in 1980, Mugabe implemented socialist policies to address the injustices of colonialism. One of his most controversial initiatives was the land reform program. This policy allowed Black Zimbabweans to take land from white farmers without compensation. Mugabe justified this move as necessary for racial justice and economic fairness, reflecting core communist principles of redistributing resources to the oppressed. However, Mugabe's legacy is not without its darker aspects. He consolidated power in an authoritarian manner, claiming it was necessary to protect the revolution. This led to the suppression of opposition and a lack of democratic freedoms. His one-party rule was seen as essential for the revolution's success but resulted in political repression and human rights violations. Economically, Mugabe's socialist policies faced severe challenges. While intended to empower the Black majority, the land reform program contributed to economic decline, hyperinflation, and a collapse of agriculture. Critics argue that these outcomes highlight the difficulties of transitioning from colonial capitalism to a socialist economy. Mugabe also navigated complex foreign relations. He balanced his Marxist-Leninist beliefs with practical diplomacy. While he aligned with communist states, he also engaged with Western powers when it benefited Zimbabwe. For instance, he supported the United States at the United Nations during the Gulf War, despite his socialist background. From a communist viewpoint, Mugabe is seen as a revolutionary leader who aimed to apply Marxist ideas in Africa. His efforts to redistribute land and challenge colonial legacies align with the goals of equality and anti-colonial liberation. Yet, his story serves as a warning about how socialist ideals can be compromised by authoritarianism and economic struggles in post-colonial nations. Mugabe's legacy has influenced many anti-colonial movements by showcasing the appeal and challenges of communist-inspired socialism in Africa. His leadership demonstrated the potential of socialist ideology to mobilize liberation efforts while also highlighting the risks of centralized power and economic turmoil.